I'm not going to the very beginning, replay, see how it looks, and then adding some more, replay, see how it looks. That will take so much time away from you. Do not do that, please. Editors, we can all agree that editing can be fun, right? But sometimes it can be kind of... So, here's what I do to make editing go smooth. This is number one. First of all, flow states. Flow states are real. Very, very, very real. Basically, a flow state is when you're doing a task and it feels so mentally easy to maneuver that it feels like you're not even doing it at all. It feels like your body's just doing the work for you. Yo, Future Moses here. Just realized that I didn't explain how to get into a flow state. Long story short, you set aside focus for one particular thing or task, and you keep doing that thing over and over and over again to the point that it feels like your body and mind are just doing it by itself. You got it? I bet. Back to the video. Flow states are real, but it literally always requires like this kind of hard entry barrier point. But if you get past that barrier, annoying like area, the rough entry point, it's smooth sailing from there basically. Flow states are super clutch, but as powerful as they are, you can lose them pretty quickly. You just get distracted by like leaving Premiere Pro and checking your phone or talking to friends. That's why whenever I'm editing, I remove all distractions as much as I can. I don't even leave the Premiere Pro window unless I need to check my script or do something like that. Because I know instant I leave, it means I open myself to losing my flow state and I have to restart that hard entry barrier phase again. Alright, 3. Split up your editing into phases. For example, myself, my workflow from scratch, from beginning to end of editing, after I film all my shots and put my files on my computer, I'll go to Premiere Pro and I'll make a bin and I'll organize it. I'll have like buttery shots, so I call like the really, really nice looking shots. I'll have okay, I guess, shots where they're like decent shots, but they're like whatever. And I'll have just the regular folder that has everything else in it basically. And that way, as I'm going through it, I'm already kind of editing in my mind as I'm seeing all my clips. And also, I don't have to scroll through that entire freaking, all the clips I have, because sometimes that can be overwhelming. Even for this talking head video like this one right here, I'm still organizing this into like clips I recorded on OBS for B-roll and all that other stuff too. Like I'll have this organizing phase basically. The next part of that is the cutting phase, where I'm actually like putting in the clips and cutting them up and splitting them up. For example, for this talking head video, the way I operate, there's a lot of gaps between my actual dialogue here. So I'm going through and cutting up those gaps to make sure I'm just flowing through to make sure I have everything put together, no gaps or anything like that. This is also where I'm just putting everything together in the first place, and this is where I'm putting the video together itself, like block by block. Most importantly, I'm not going to the very beginning, replay, see how it looks, and then adding some more, replay, see how it looks. That will take so much time away from you. Do not do that, please. After I have my basis general foundation for the actual full video, then I go into my B-roll adding phase, where I add some B-roll shots. Like for example, for this talking head video, it's all the OBS clips I have, or it's just me editing on my desk here. I go through a whole layer of that. Pretty tight timeline. And then finally I go to my specialized fun editing time, which is where I add all my zooms and my sound effects and transitions and all that stuff like that. So it's split up into sections. I have organizing, cutting, B-roll, and then fun time. The cool thing about that is that if you're doing it in sections, the way your mind works, you can split it up in general. So you can save the fun parts, like the whole zooms and all that other crazy wacky animation stuff. You can save that for the end, where it's like you're excited to do it. As opposed to just doing it all at once. If you're going by step number 1 and acknowledging flow states, the reason why you shouldn't be building your video from scratch is because you're restarting your flow state. You're instead of having to do a consistent process and doing it over and over again and your mind does it for you, now you have to think, oh, let me add some color grade to this, oh, let me add some zooms on this. You're restarting your flow over and over again. It makes it feel that much harder to do. You're actually thinking about it. Number 6. Alright, if you're editing in Premiere Pro and DaVinci in general, and you're making a talking head video like this, or it's a video that has a lot of dialogue in general, I highly recommend using text-based editing. Instead of having to move your file into your timeline and have to literally go through yourself and delete all the gaps yourself between your talking and have to watch your video the whole way through just to edit it, you can let Premiere Pro make an automatic transcription and just scan through your text there. You know yourself that, oh, I messed up with this part, I can just quickly shoop and then delete it and it's gone. Like, it's so much quicker. To be honest with you, if I wasn't using text-based editing anymore, like it wouldn't be the same. This makes the cutting up phase lightning fast, because you can just boop, delete, boop, delete, boop, delete, and then it even tells you the little gaps between your speech, these little dots right here. So it's just like boop, 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 and you're good. Number 7, if you're working with really big high-res files like 4K, 60, 8K, blah, 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 and your computer just can't handle it, instead of just having to sit through lag and just, suck with that, make some proxies. Let it build, let it make some proxies for a while, and then start editing, so it's a lot more smoother. Because once again, flow states. If you're editing, and you have to stop and wait for your thing to start buffering, and start working, and stop lagging, or the Premiere Pro crashes or something like that, it's literally taking you out of your flow state. Now you have to think about it again. You don't want to do that, it's too much work. Do all those things together, and acknowledge that flow states is a big part in all those areas, then you'll be juicy.